guys, Big Al here. Welcome back to Safe Travel RV. Upgrades, tips, and tricks. I've got a good one for you today, folks. How many times have you been on a trip and had something break in your RV? Yep, well that happened to us. We were down in the middle of Florida on an extended trip and the water pump went out. So the first thing I do, I get online and I order one and have it sent to our next destination next day. And when we arrived, there it was sitting there. Thanks Amazon, appreciate it. We got it, and then the second thing I did was to contact SureFlow, who's owned by Pentair, because I wanted to see if this thing was under warranty. It was only 3 years old. So I talked to a really nice guy there, and he said, these only come with a 1-year warranty. So I said, how about descaling the system? I've heard so much about, does that extend the life of the pump? He said, nope, it's not necessary. I said, what if you leave the pump on while you're hooked up to city water? Does that shorten the life of the pump? Nope. He said, makes no difference. Just make sure you turn it off when you notice it. I said, okay. He said, the problem is usually in the upper pump housing, which consists of the flow bypass, the pressure switch, and the check valve, all which live in this upper housing assembly. So at the end of this video, we're going to rebuild this pump, and I'm going to show you how to do it. I'm going to show you how to test it. Then we're going to pack it up all nice and pretty, stick it back in the RV, and hope we'll never have to use it again. So if you guys are ready to get this thing installed, let's go do it. Boom. Okay, so this pump has been acting up for a while now. Sometimes it won't even work, but I've been able to just kind of tap it with a hammer and it'll start working again. So I knew I was gonna have to replace it. But that's one telltale sign that it's going bad. And the other telltale sign is when you're hooked up to city water and it fills up your fresh water tank. And that's what it's done right there. So we're gonna get this bad boy out and get a new one put in, and then we'll be ready to go. Okay, with this panel removed, we can really see the whole pump now. First thing I want to do, I'll pull this 10 amp fuse right here out and turn the water pump on. I'm just going to confirm that I do have power going to the pump, which I do, and the pump is dead. If you have a winterization valve, you can simply turn that off to stop the water flow from your fresh water tank. Otherwise, you'll just have to drain your tank. The inlet and the outlet hoses are finger tight. Do not use any kind of tools on it. Just simply loosen them up with your fingers, and that's all you have to do there. Your ground wire and your power wires can remain attached. Your power red will just unplug from the back of the pump, but the black wire, which is the ground, will have to be cut. Once you get those out of the way, then the only thing that holds that pump to the RV are 3 or 4 mounting screws. You just need to back those out, and then you can get that pump out of there. Okay, reinstalling that new pump, pretty straightforward. Just make sure you connect that ground wire back up before you attach the pump back to that panel. Make your water connections again, make sure they're finger tight, and you'll be good to go. And be sure to sanitize your system before you start using it, since you've got that new pump in there. All right, just check for leaks and you'll be good. All right guys, that's gonna wrap it up. Pump's installed, it's running. I've checked for leaks, everything looks good, no issue, so we're gonna button this up. 2 things we did learn: if you turn this off, you won't lose hardly any water. This is your bypass, so you can winterize your RV. So if you turn that off, you'll keep from losing a lot of water. And 2, on this one hot wire, you can just unplug it from the back of the pump and not have to cut any wires other than just that one ground wire. All right, so here's our old pump assembly. We're going to swap out this upper assembly housing really quick. For the 4008 model, which is what I have right here, it calls for the 94-800-00 upper body assembly. I'm just going to show you a couple of quick things on how we did this. I'm not going to bore you with swapping it out on camera. The first thing they want you to do is remove these 4 outer screws. Then they want you to remove the 4 inner screws. Then once you get that off, you have this right here, and there is a brand new O-ring that you want to seat in that new upper body assembly. Once you do that and put it back on, just remember that you get all new screws. 4 screws are going to have a lock washer. that goes on the inside four, and then the ones with just the washer go on the outside four. Just make sure you snug them down in a cross pattern fashion and you'll be fine. Once you get it all assembled, you're good to go. I'm going to show you real quick after I get it hooked up to water how we do a leak test and a pressure test, and we will be done. Okay, so we got our upper housing assembly back on. We're just going to check for leaks and make sure our pressure switch works. Just got this temporarily hooked up so we can cycle this pump on and off. What I have right here is a DC power supply. You can use a 12-volt battery. That works just as well. Just remember that this thing draws about 7 amps. So let's just go ahead and turn it on. It's running good. I don't see any leaks anywhere. Let's just check our pressure switch, simulating turning the water off in the RV. It shuts the pump off. Everything looks good. All right, folks, let's go and finish this video up. I hope this was very helpful. I hope you'll have one of these as a backup in case you need it. And if you have any questions, please let me know in the comments below. I'll be glad to answer them. And until next time, folks, safe travel.